I'm continuing talking about some of the books that have been impactful for me over the last few years. For those of you who know me, you know I've been reading a ton, and so I just wanted to share a few of the books that have been most important to me. And the one I'm going to share today is by Douglas Van Dorn. It's called Christ in the Old Testament. And it's really a book that is probably one of the most, at least top 5 books of the 60 or so that I've read that has been most impactful for me. And that's because it talks about Jesus manifesting, showing up in the Old Testament. That's called Christophany. A Christophany is where Jesus somehow visibly manifests before the incarnate form, before he's born a human, before he's born a man. He shows up throughout the Old Testament. And if you're like me, you had the belief that Jesus was always part of the Trinity. Sure, he was there throughout the Old Testament, but he really comes on the scene in the incarnate form when he gets called into the game, and he comes and he's born a human and he's born a man. But Douglas points out time and time again where Jesus shows up, not just in the prophecies, which we all expect, not just in typology, which is where someone or something represents Jesus coming. They are a type of him. So you see that in Abraham, you see that in things like the Exodus and the Passover. But where Jesus actually manifests, he shows up. He doesn't just show up all of a sudden, thousands of years after creation. He's there all throughout the Old Testament until he comes incarnate in the New Testament. We see that in words and phrases like angel of the Lord, the word of God, the power of God, the right hand of God, the name of God, the face of God. And then one that maybe makes the most sense is the term Son of God, where Jesus uses Psalm 2 and Psalm 82 when he's arguing with the Pharisees, and he claims to be one of these divine beings, a Son of God, a divine being that he's not just a Son of God. John tells us that he's the begotten or the unique. The Greek word is monogenes, the unique Son of God. And he is a supernatural being, but he's also the unique one. He's the one before all. So I encourage you, if you want to study about Jesus, this is a great book. Again, Douglas Van Dorn, Christ in the Old Testament. Doug is one of my favorite people that show up in the Blurry Creatures podcast. If you're interested in listening to some of his things, you can just go to that podcast and search for Doug Van Dorn DVD and take a listen. He's a pastor from out near Colorado, and he just has a heart for teaching the meaning, the context, digging into the Old Testament, digging into the New Testament to really see who Jesus is. And in all of it, we can say that he is the monogenes, the unique Son of God.